Welcome to the homestead. These chickens over here have stopped laying eggs. Why is that? Why did these chickens stop laying and these chickens have not? They are still laying a ton of eggs. We're going to talk about several reasons why these gals have not laid in months. And then one big reason that not many people think about. Let's go. So after I'm done talking about why they're not laying, I'm going to talk about a few strategies to maybe help them lay a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is molting. Chickens molt. They replace their feathers. After about 18 months of age, they'll do it once a year. And when they're molting, their older feathers will come out, they'll start to replace them. When that happens, egg production shuts down completely, simply because they use a lot of energy and minerals to replace those feathers and to grow those new feathers, and that's taken away from the egg production completely. That molt is going to last for about 8 to 12 weeks depending on your breed. So you can expect to get 0 eggs out of your chickens in that time period. Another big reason is the shortened days. So chickens, to lay normally, they need 14 hours of light per day. We've had a lot of cloudy days here, but our days are also very short. It's the middle of December. So they're not going to get the proper amount of sunlight that they need for full egg production. Although some breeds will lay in the wintertime, most will not. So if you do want to increase your egg production and get them off their regular cycle, have a light on them for 14 hours a day, but no more than that. And if you're not into that artificial production of eggs, that's fine. Leave it off. You won't get any eggs or hardly any eggs in the winter, but it'll pick back up in the spring. When you're looking at your chickens and trying to figure out the reasons that they're not laying, you kind of want a checklist of things because there's a lot of reasons why chickens don't lay eggs. I'm not going to go over every single one of them today, just the highlights. But make sure you know all the possible reasons that are out there for them not laying. Now I'm going to combine the next few together because they kind of go together in the way that I feed my chickens. Your chickens need grit in their crops to properly break down the food. If they don't have enough sharp sand or sharp rock to be able to break down the food properly, that could slow down or stop their egg production. So to give them grit, we provide them oyster shell because the oyster shell also provides them with the calcium that they need to produce good eggshells. Now what I'm giving them today is some scratch, some grain scratch at the bottom, some crushed oyster shell, and we have also some soldier fly larvae. And on top of that soldier fly larva, I've got some diatomaceous earth. So you're probably asking me, well, why the diatomaceous earth mixed with the soldier fly larva? Well, the DE is going to help them with parasites, most commonly intestinal parasites. And if they are sick and they have a lot of parasites in their system, they're not going to lay eggs at all. The soldier fly larva is much better than mealworms. Not only does it provide protein for the chickens, which they need, it also provides a lot of calcium. A lot of people don't think about that, but these soldier fly larvae have 1.5 times more calcium than your regular mealworm. So in my opinion, these are way better. And we use this Grubterra brand, which is really awesome. They have a good mission statement with the company and all that. They use grocery scraps, food scraps from grocery stores to actually grow their soldier fly larvae. So that's pretty cool. And the link to these is in the description below. So I know they're waiting for this. They're just staring at me right here. So I'm going to give it to them. Here you go, girls. Now, protein is important in a chicken's diet, and it does have an effect on how much they lay. I usually do use a layer pellet with a higher amount of protein, but at this time of year, when they've slowed down their molting or something else is going on with them, I do give them a treat. And this is helpful because chickens are omnivores. Chickens are used to eating a lot of bugs, and if they can find them, they'll eat snakes, they'll eat small rodents, they will eat a lot of different things. But my chickens do not free range because we just have too many predators here, including my protective dog. He will eat them if they get out of this enclosed area. So I need to get them some extra protein, and the protein that's contained within layer feeds is usually plant protein. And they need some animal protein in their diet. So here's that trick. This is cat food. And dog food is a little too big for them to eat. You can crush up dog food, but it contains animal proteins. So the cat food is perfect size for them, and it will get them that little bit more animal protein that they need for their diet. So let's talk about that last big factor. Why are these Easter eggers, or Americanas, and the Leghorns laying right now when the other ones are not? Now, the weather will affect chickens, although it depends on the breed. Some breeds are more hot and cold tolerant than others, but it certainly will affect production of eggs in all breeds. So this summer here in East Texas, we had several months where it was at least 100 degrees. These guys go down, but our Rhode Islands and Barred Rocks did, and here's the reason why. And that's because no matter how many eggs the breed is supposed to lay, like a Barred Rock or a Rhode Island are supposed to lay around 200 to 250 eggs a year, like the Easter eggers and the Leghorns, they are a different type of bird. The Rhode Islands and Barred Rocks are a dual purpose bird. And anything that happens to them that throws them off, like several months of heat or getting packed on a lot, any trauma, any stress like that, their reproductive system shuts down like that because they're dual purpose. But Leghorns and Easter eggers are bred specifically to lay eggs, and a lot of them. All those white eggs you see in the store, those are Leghorn eggs. And nothing really slows these guys down. Of course, a molt does, and an improper diet and maybe some sickness does, but they will continue to produce at a very high level without interruption of any stressors or any weather problems. And that's something I didn't realize when I was first buying chickens. I looked at the number of eggs that they could potentially lay. And even though they're the same, Rhode Islands and Leghorns, in the number of eggs that they lay, the Leghorns are more consistent. So nothing bothers these guys, or the Easter eggers or Americanas, whatever you want to call them. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking that the dog in the background is a stressor for these chickens. Well, actually not. He's a protector for them. Even though he would eat them if they got out of their enclosures, they are used to him. He has been here since they were tiny. So they're used to him, they're used to no intrusion by him. It's not like if a snake wandered into the coop or a raccoon was trying to tear apart the cage or anything like that. It's different with the dog. So I've learned that the Rhode Island Reds, any little bit of stress that comes into their lives is going to shut down their egg production. The Barred Rocks are much better in that regard. These guys are super sensitive. If you want chickens that don't care what happens to them a lot of the time, get Leghorns. Okay, so get that checklist started and see what your chickens need and what is going on in their environment. And understand that it could totally be your breed of chicken no matter how many eggs they're projected to lay. So if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section below. Now go click on this video right here, which shows you how we saved our eggs from being eaten by our chickens with that contraption right there. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you next time.